All right guys, this is Mike McKinstry from Bassquatch Hunter TV. So I recently did a poll on Facebook asking you guys what you wanted to see in a video, and about 65% of you wanted to see an overview of how I set up my kayak. So in front of me I have the Feelfree Lure II, the tandem kayak. It's about 14.5 foot long. It's 35 or 36 inches wide, and it's an incredible platform. It's what I've been using this whole entire season for 2018, and not only is it a great filming rig, but it's also an incredible fishing rig. So I'm going to go over how I set it up for tournament use and everyday fishing use to give you guys an idea of what I use to fish. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna go over on this kayak is in the back, I have my Railblaza Visibility Kit 2. I have my flags for daytime visibility, and I have a light on top for nighttime visibility. I have this mounted into a Starport HD on my track mount on the back of the Feelfree, and it's in a Unitrack adapter. Moving forward from that, I have my Feelfree crate bag and matching lime camo. Inside of it, I keep my tackle trays, my soft tackle, and there's extra pouches in the front that I keep more gear in. There's 2 rod holders on this side, there's 3 mounted on this side, and then on the Feelfree Tandem, there is a Unitrack bar mounted in the back behind the seat, where I have 3 Starports mounted in with 3 of the Railblaza rod tubes, so I can actually fit 8 rods on this kayak comfortably. So I have a full area back here of rods I can easily reach in my kayak. Moving forward from the rod holders, I have the gravity seat in the rear. Now, this is one of the most comfortable seats in the market, for me at least, the way I fish, my style of fishing. This has been one of the biggest things that sold me on this kayak in the beginning too. The gravity seat moves in 10 positions. It goes all the way flat in the kayak, and it lifts all the way up in 10 increments, all the way up to here in the highest position. I usually keep it, I'd say about halfway up, right around here. It's comfortable enough, and it still gives me a little bit more stability. In the side of my seat pouch, I keep a floating phone case, which has been something I learned the hard way not too long ago. I lost a phone. And on this side, I keep extra tools, Allen wrenches. I keep some extra baits, like a chatterbait. Like I said, this is how I have it set up, so it's not cleaned, it's not showroom ready. This is raw and gritty how I set my kayak up. On this side, next to my seat, I have a small container here. I'm not even sure what size this would be, but it's a small terminal tackle container with a bunch of different hooks in it. I have they're all Z-Man hooks. I have shaky head, 1/4 ounce, 3/8. I have trout eyes. I have 1/4 ounce swim jigs, and I have 15th ounce Ned rig heads. These are what I use the most, so I keep them right next to my seat. In front of my seat, I have the Railblaza Rod Holder R, which is my favorite rod holder. I have it mounted on a swivel mount, so my rod holder actually can swivel. So when I'm unhooking a fish and I'm going through the whole organized chaos of getting a fish off the hook without losing my rod and losing my net and everything, I can actually put my rod in my rod holder, turn my rod holder so the rod tip's facing this way or out. Either way, it makes it easier. I have that mounted into a Starport HD as well on a Unitrack adapter from Feelfree. In front of my rod holder, one of the most important things I have in my kayak is the low profile anchor wizard. I have that running through a stainless steel and brass pulley. It's actually not attached right now because I was cleaning my kayak out. But what this does is it puts the stress point in front of the anchor wizard. So the anchor wizard's job is only to retrieve the anchor, but the pulley will take the brunt of the support for it. So when I turn this and loosen it up, it drops my anchor down, and then when I want to pull it back up, I simply just reel it back in, and it comes back into the boat. So that's how I have my anchor system, my anchor wizard set up, and it's pretty easy to use in shallow water or deep water. I do bring the Yakir floating push pole with me when I'm in a lot of shallow water, but for the most part, I use my anchor wizard and it gets the job done. On this side of the kayak, across from my anchor system, I have a custom fish grip mount made by On the Water Innovations, a good friend, Danny Romero. So my fish grips can go right into here. There's a mount on there, a spot to clip on a carabiner, so they're attached. That's one thing I did learn the hard way too, is everything on this kayak is attached or floats because I've lost everything. It only takes once. So I have my fish grips right here, my hand rudder control on this side, and this is pretty much everything I need in my cockpit right in front of me. Okay, so moving to the midsection of the kayak. So again, this is a tandem kayak. So normally there is another seat mounted right here in front. I removed the seat for the extra storage, but we'll go over that in a quick second. So finishing up the cockpit area in the back, I have the Feelfree overdrive pedal system. It easily drops down when it's in use. When it's not in use or in shallow water, it lifts up out of the way. Very convenient. I do have the electric motor attachment as well that will be going in here this week. Over here I have a few different adapters put together to make my front camera mount. So the cool thing about the star ports is this can pop out, my front camera mount goes in, and this is where I have my front camera. The camera I talk to the most when I'm on the water is right here from this GoPro session mount. I use the Saver Outdoors retrieval device, so if I do lose this camera boom, this will deploy and pop up to the surface, attached to 70 feet of braided line inside of here, so I can retrieve my camera. I don't lose my footage that way, I don't lose my camera that way, but I can pop this off in the water and put in my mobile phone holder, and that's how I talk to you guys doing live videos on Facebook with my cell phone, is right here. So I can easily switch these out while I'm on the water. Moving forward, I also have my Yak Gear floating fish stick right here in front of me, so I can reach this from the back seat and I can unfold it and measure my fish that way. This also floats and it's 36 inches, so it's an easy way to measure fish, even bigger fish. Okay, so in the front area of my kayak, so the tandem kayak with the seat removed, I have a lot of open deck space. There's plenty of room to move around here. I can stand up, walk around, I can load up my camera gear in the front, whatever I want to do for that day. So up here, the way I have it right now is I keep my Gopro Monopod, so I can easily turn this out and I extend this, and this is what I use to get my underwater footage, or if I'm trying to reach out and get footage of someone else's kayak, then my monopod stays in the front. This does float and it has a wrist tether on it. Then I have my net right here. My net is tethered as well because I don't want to lose it. And to hold my net together, I use the Rail Blaza paddle clip. One of the really cool parts about this Rail Blaza paddle holder is I use it on the inside for my net holder instead, and I have a mini port star port mounted in the middle, so when I move from the back part of the kayak to the front part of the kayak, I can take my rod holder out. I can take my rod holder out from the back, put it in the front, and lock it in really easily, and then I can take my camera mount or phone mount from the back and put it in the front starport easily. So I can transition everything I have in the back, I can put it in the front of the kayak very easily too. So then in the front sonar pod, I have my fish finder, it has a visor from Burley Pro on it right now to save battery energy with using the lower light on the screen. And then the front, I have some storage up here where I keep my first aid kit. And that's pretty much how I rig up my kayak for tournament use and for everyday fishing. For filming, I just bring a little bit less gear and I put all my camera gear in the front. But the front's cool because you don't let the dog run around. There's a lot of things you can do with a tandem kayak when you use it solo. So make sure you guys check out the channel. If you guys have any questions about what gear I use and how I set up my kayak, feel free to comment below and shoot me a message and ask me. And that's how I set up my kayak for tournament use. There's also a video on my channel that I posted the other day where you can see how I use this kayak in a solo setting instead of a tandem setting. So make sure you guys go on the channel, watch that video, give it a thumbs up, give this video a huge thumbs up, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on. So thank you guys very much, and I will see you guys on the water soon.